Hey, ready to try the new Printavo mobile app? We've rethought how Printavo looks and feels for mobile, and it's pretty sweet. It's for Android and iOS. You can get it today, so click the links below and give it a shot. So last week we discussed inflation and how you can beat it by playing your own game. But this week we're going to discuss playing a different game. We're going to discuss pricing. So there are two things that really trip shops up when they set their prices. If you've ever used our price matrix generator, you already know that utilization is like a secret factor that most custom printing businesses actually overlook. So what is utilization exactly? Well, in a sense, it's how much of your time is actually spent printing. Or in even more general terms, it's when your business is actually being utilized to make a profit. The second thing that trips shops up is arbitrary quantity-based price discounts, or usually called price breaks or even case pricing in some shops. These are almost like an industry standard. But why? We've explained the basic price calculation in the industry, right? It's your price is the garment price plus a print cost plus some markup. So where do utilization and price breaks actually fit in? Where does utilization come into this equation? The garment price is fixed. You are going to pay whatever the supplier wants to charge because that's the business they're in. They supply you garments. You can't really change this number in your favor. The print cost is also fixed, and for simplicity's sake, you should probably charge a simple print fee or like a print cost. Some shops really drill down into their pricing and develop a cost per impression, which is kind of the holy grail for financial analysis in a print shop. So that leaves one element left over. The markup. This is where things get really interesting. Price breaks, please, don't do them. Look, check out this picture of pricing from 1988. Does this look familiar or even a little high? When we look at the pricing in a lot of shops, they have these sort of arbitrary price breaks. You've seen this, maybe you do it. It's like 12 pieces are X, 48 pieces are Y, 72 pieces are Z, and so on and so forth. But the dirty secret here is that this kind of ruins your prices. It undercuts profitability. Some customers wind up overpaying, some wind up underpaying, but very few pay the exact price that would be the most beneficial to your shop and to the consumer. Nothing magic happens at 47 prints that makes the 48th print much cheaper. So why does a print shop do magic instead of business? So what should you do instead? So instead of putting prices into these sort of arbitrary buckets, you can actually go the extra step. You can create a comprehensive calculation that works for your shop and includes quantity in the calculation. So this means you calculate any quantity quickly, 12, 13, 14, 15, so on and so forth. If you want to learn how to really do this, check out our article on screen printing pricing or check out Trust Print Shop's article on breakless pricing. It'll give you a good idea how to get started. So what is utilization anyway? We use a super simple definition for utilization. It's just the time that your press is operating. It's the actual productive time when a product is made, and it discounts all the other value-adding activities before and after production, because our model actually assumes that those are sort of marginal in value. This is a little bit different than uptime. Like uptime could just be how long the lights are on and someone's on the clock. So we're being a little stricter with this definition. Utilization is just sheer production time, the bread and butter. Why is utilization so low in most shops? Well, there are a couple reasons, and they're actually pretty simple. The first one is just there are no orders. If there isn't work to be done, the utilization is always zero. The sales and marketing have to step in and start adding value. The question then becomes, do sales and marketing activities count as utilization? And this is an interesting and honestly really valid question. But for our model, and just to keep it simple, sales and marketing activities are sort of a fixed cost that rolls into the print cost. I think it's simpler to do it that way, but not everybody does. Another reason that utilization can be low is that there aren't enough workers. So if there's a lot of work to done, but there's nobody to do it, obviously the utilization is going to be hurt. Another problem is upstream issues. Orders basically don't get onto the press fast enough. You can only improve utilization through sales and marketing to a point, right? Because once you fill that pipeline with jobs, just adding more jobs doesn't actually increase utilization. In fact, it can actually hurt utilization because of procurement issues, delays in approvals, and other administrative problems. So we want 100% utilization then, right? Well, kind of. Low utilization is actually an industry-wide problem, and it makes sense too, because it's like impossible to imagine a scenario where a shop has 100% utilization. And actually, that's probably not even a desirable goal. That level of utilization would mean that the organization has no flexibility to change or address problems. They're always producing. So in this fictional 100% utilization organization, there's no time to make corrections. There's no space for feedback. There's no way to address new inputs or to adjust the output. How could a shop that's 100% busy all the time ever do any research and development? How could they ever learn? How could there any be kind of investment in the future? So let's get that out of the way, honestly. 100% utilization, not even a desirable goal. It's not something we want to achieve. We want to achieve more utilization than we have now. So just to give you kind of a ballpark idea, what's typical for utilization? So how much utilization does the typical print shop achieve? This is not something I have hard data on, I'm going to be totally honest, but it's something we can understand by looking at different utilization data levels and comparing it to conditions that we've observed in the real world. So just think about this. 15% utilization in an 8-hour shift is 1 hour and 12 minutes of printing time. 20% utilization is 1 hour and 42 minutes. 30% utilization is 2 hours and 22 minutes. And 50% utilization, obviously, 4 hours. So 2 to 3 hours of productive uptime doesn't sound unreasonable to me. And that's where this gets really complicated, actually. Your utilization is going to change over the course of a year, and that's going to make your pricing tricky. Everybody knows about the January-February slowdown. Our own order data from Printavo backs this up over the past several years, actually. There's almost always a slow period. So it might make sense to offer some seasonal pricing or to understand that your prices will fluctuate as your utilization changes. So no matter what happens in your shop, utilization is going to go down when there are fewer jobs or fewer workers. So your utilization in the first quarter, it's not going to look like your utilization or your profit in the fourth quarter. So these are really the two things that trip print shops up in their pricing. The first is just screwing up the price breaks on quantities. Be careful there. And the second, of course, is not understanding how utilization relates back to how their press makes money for the business. If you've got questions about this topic or you're curious or want to learn more, hit me up, luke@printavo.com. I'm always happy to chat. And of course, if you haven't tried our screen printing price matrix generator, give it a shot. I'd love your feedback. Thanks so much. See you next week.
But wait, there's more.
Hey print hustlers, welcome to the Product Corner. This is a new segment for the weekly, and we're going to discuss a new feature in Printavo every week. Or maybe not a new feature, but maybe how to do something or something you may not know about Printavo. But today we have something really, really exciting and new that we just released. I'm here with Steve. He heads our product marketing, and he's going to share Mockup Creator, which is a really powerful new addition to Printavo. It's super cool. I had a couple questions about it, though, and Steve has the answer. So I guess, first off, why did we build Mockup Creator?
Yeah, good question. So we built our Mockup Creator, and I'll just pull it up here on the screen, to help shops build out quotes faster and get those quotes approved faster. Specifically, perhaps the individuals who are selling the quotes are selling the jobs who are maybe not working in Photoshop or Corel or Illustrator and want to be able to make, show what a design would look like on multiple products quickly. So on that note, it's also really good for, Printavo merch or whatever online store platform you're using, because you can quickly and easily put a company logo or a school logo, for example, on a bunch of different products relatively quickly.
So one of the things I saw when I've gone to shops is they're downloading images from product catalogs. So they have Printavo in one window and maybe SNS in another, and they're going to the website, searching for the thing, downloading the image, and then dragging it into Illustrator, and then putting the image on it, saving it, and trying to put it in Printavo. So I guess, how is this different?
In some ways it isn't, but from the very objective, you're putting an image on a thing on a canvas. The difference is when you use the Mockup Creator in Printavo, we're actually going to, and I'll just move to my screen here, we're actually going to supply that image for you from the catalog, pending you're using the integrated catalogs, right? So, we connect with Alpha Broder, Sanmar, SNS Activewear. When you select those products, when you build your quote and then, put in any other relevant information and then head to the Mockup Creator, we'll have those images there for you, right? So this is a catalog supplied image of this PC330. This is a catalog supplied images of this PC330 in Carolina Blue, right? So instead of you having to go to, whatever catalog, download the image, like you said, go to Illustrator, do this, whatever. Right now, all I did was upload my vector art, and then with a tap, I can just go ahead, resize this, move it around, spin it around, right? If I want to just put it on, you want to say, hey, here's what your shirt would look like with 2 smiley faces on it, right? And easy layering. It's a very, very basic but simple to use Mockup Creator, which again, it's a faster way for anybody to be able to build a mockup without requiring the skill set of Adobe, Suite or Corel. Right now, you'll still need someone to perhaps vectorize the images for you, or perhaps they're already supplied by your customer. But once you have those, it's just a matter of a couple of clicks. And then you'll see as well, I can switch my images here, and you can show the customer, hey, here's what this looks like on the blue shirt. Here's what it looks like on the orange shirt. You can save your mockups, right? So I'll save this right here, right? And then I'll save this one right here as well. And then I can just head back to the quote, and you'll see how quickly, right, I just made those designs, added them both to the imprint and to the line item. Right? And if I wanted to make multiple versions of that, right, maybe I wanted to show them 1 smiley face, 2 smiley faces, 3 smiley faces, right? We can do that as well just as fast. So you give the customer the option. It makes things faster without requiring a very respectful skill set.
So I can already hear the next question, which is like, what if they don't use Sanmar, SNS, or some of the catalogs that we're integrated with? Is it still going to work for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Mockup Creator will absolutely work. And I'll show you what that looks like, right? So I'll just go back into this particular Mockup Creator, and you'll see this button here. This is custom blank. And, just for a little sort of background context, we get these images when you search for and select your product, just like when you would normally build a quote. So for whatever reason, the catalog doesn't have an image for that product, or maybe the image link is broken, or to your point, you're using a different catalog or a completely custom product. Then you can use this custom blank uploader to upload custom blanks. And I'll even, I had one up here before, just from experimenting with things earlier. Obviously, this isn't blank, but if this was my blank here and I wanted to apply this, it's the same idea, right? So you're not, penalized per se for not using the catalogs. It's still completely functional for any users of Printavo.
I can hear the next question too. If they don't see Mockup Creator in Printavo today and they're a Printavo user, what should they do?
Just reach out to your dedicated success manager. If you're not sure who that is, you can email us at success, SUCCESS at printavo.com, and we'd be happy to help you out. If you're not a current Printavo customer and you're watching this, hello. We'd love to have you, of course, but you should email sales at printavo.com, and you can chat with our onboarding team, get a demo of the whole software, take a deeper dive into Mockup Creator. And we'll show you around.
So wait, okay. So you're saying this is like a lot faster? Like how much faster is it? Could you make a mock-up for me in like a minute? Is it 30 seconds? Like how long is this going to take? Actually, you know what? I'm going to challenge you.
Okay.
I'm throwing down the gauntlet. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Do you think you can make a mock-up in 30 seconds with this thing?
Yeah, totally. I'll even handicap myself and start from this page.
Okay.
I'll only ask you for one thing, just for the sake of like randomness, right? What shirt should I print on?
Let's do a Crunchy Gildan 2000.
Okay, sure. Classic, right? What color?
How about white?
As classic as it gets. Why not?
That's right.
Okay, yeah, sure. Give me a countdown and I'll start from this screen.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, cool. So I'll go back to my quote. I'm going to make a new line item group. We said Gildan 2000. white.
Yep.
I'll select that. I'll put my price in here just because we need that. Need a little bit of imprint information here. I'll use a different image this time. Whoop. Wonder how I'm doing. Hit done. Go to my creator. All right. Slop that on. Make it small. Take a little extra time to make her like that. And then save it. I don't know if I did it in 30 seconds, but I would argue that was pretty fast. But it's done, right? That's how long it takes. I made a mock-up.
I'm speechless. That was really fast. I was like, there's no way he's going to get that done. Okay, wow. That was awesome.
I have no idea if that was 30 seconds or not, but I
think you were a little over. I think you were right at about 40 or 39, but I'm
Okay,
going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I'll take
here
less than a minute, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, if you have any questions on that, right, and you're a current Printavo subscriber, success@printavo.com, or just contact your dedicated success manager. If you're not a Printavo subscriber, just sales@printavo.com, and we'll walk you through the entire platform.
Heck yeah. Thanks, Steve. We'll see you next week. Appreciate it, man.
My pleasure. See you soon.